So, of course, I set this up and I was so trying to be on time that I made it for PM instead of AM. So, good morning. Hi, it's me, Audra. On this channel, I like to talk about media. I still have breakfast in my mouth. I'm sorry. I like to talk about media. I like to talk about movies and reality TV. And we like to get into the nitty gritty. So, obviously, I will see some of y'all in the replay because I erroneously put it as 10:45 p.m. instead of a.m. Please let me live my life. I'm sorry. I still am still eating breakfast. I'm sorry. I'm still eating the breakfast in my mouth. Hi, Janet. I listen. I tried. I was so excited. I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do the thing," and I made a mess. I made a mess. Obviously, I do, of course, want to pop in and say a huge, huge shout out, as per usual, to my channel members and patrons, without whom I definitely would not be able to have multiple channels to do multiple things on. You can really only, I feel like, be able to have multiple channels and do these things like this if and when you are able to be supported, because my channel is not large enough to be able to do this, although I do live stream almost exclusively on all of them. But having that support really makes this significantly easier. I am in my pack mode, like I am packing. Y'all, I have on this red bandana. And I remember in high school, listen, we're going to get into the Love is Blind season 5, like episode 1. You're probably going to see me another time today to talk about episode 2. So if you're into the show, if you haven't watched episode 2, go watch it. We're going to have thoughts. We're going to chit chat. We're going to have a nice time. But the thing about this bandana is I remember like way back in the day, people would be like worried and be like, "Oh, you can't wear a red bandana." And here was the thing. This is what bothered me is I was like, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm not worried about the Bloods and Crips in Abilene, Texas. I don't want to be rude, but we don't have this situation. What are you talking about? So, anyways, it's just kind of funny now to me to like look back, like you were like afraid of wearing a red bandana or a blue bandana and like in BFE, Texas. So all right, y'all. Listen, I watched episode 1. This is the season of red flags. Okay. If anybody else, if you haven't watched it, there's gonna be spoilers. It is what it is. This is the season of red flags. All of these people are walking red flags. I feel like and here's the thing. I know that they had to have done this on purpose because season 4 people were boring. Like not in a terrible way. They weren't really bringing the drama. Jackie and Josh ended up breaking up. Of course they did. And it just wasn't, you know what I mean? It's just not, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they purposely chose like a pod full of red flag people. So first off, unfortunately, Nick and Vanessa are back. So that's a thing. I'm upset because I don't like those two people. Also, I kind of slurp my coffee, and unless you like that ASMR, I'm sorry, but it's hot. I don't know what you want me to do. Um, Marcy, I feel the same for Nashville gigs. Yeah, it was such a weird time. Like it was in the 90s. We were like, oh, the Bloods are I'm like, I really don't know why you're worried about that. We do not. This isn't a thing here. I think at the time the town had like 34,000 people, and I was just like, y'all, we literally have a north side and a south side of town. Like that's all we've got. The train tracks separate the poor from the rich. Like literally, that was the thing in the town. But okay, we're gonna have to just get into the hard nitty. But I do want to just have some of my first impressions of some of the people here. Like Lydia, I really liked her. She is from Puerto Rico, and she was like, the thing that she said really resonated with me, which was, I am the right amount of me. She said, I'm not too much. I am the right amount of me. And I really like that because I think that in general, very expressive women and femmes are often viewed as too much and too much to handle. And I have wholeheartedly disagreed with that for a very long time. Like if you can't handle somebody who is just full of life, then don't be with them. Don't be with somebody who's full of life if you cannot handle that, because you're just going to destroy them. You're going to sit here and try to crush them and crush them and crush them until they're smaller and smaller. That's not good. Like let's not advocate for that kind of behavior, please and thank you. Um, so then Milton is too young, in my opinion, to be here. I don't know why he's here. He's only 24. I know that people get married young, whatever, but like he's just really young. And I also really want him to get a haircut that matches his face. Because he's got really like a big smile with a lot of teeth. And I don't think that that haircut is doing it for him. I really don't. I just it's not working. Uh Like, he just like, you know how some people need a hairstyle that complements their teeth? Milton needs a hairstyle that complements his teeth, and I think that would be helpful. Izzy, I don't like Izzy. I'm sorry. He's also a Latino man. He said his family is Mexican, I believe, and he just very much seems like an F boy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, I know that he's trying not to come off, and maybe it's because of how he looks, but he just looks like he's an F boy. He does not have like an aura of like, I'm here for marriage. He has an aura of like, I'm here to get as much cat as I can find. Like, this show is the jumping off point for him to dive into a pool of kitty after it's over. Ah. See, Allie, yeah, I don't feel like he is genuine at all. Like, I genuinely feel like this man is sitting here and like he's here. But I feel like this is him being like, "I wanna get it, like, I want the kitty, I want it, and I'm gonna get it by being on this show. I'm gonna like, this is my jumping off point." I very much get that energy from him. I don't feel like he's trying to find a wife. Um, Especially because he said his biggest insecurity is that he's bald, but he's not bald and ugly. Like, we really need to thank you. As soon as I saw he was in sales, I knew he was messy. And this is the thing. This is what bothers me because he's like, my biggest insecurity, I'm a bald ass man. I'm like, no, you're not bald and ugly. You're not bald and weirdly shaped. You're not bald with that, like, you don't have that pate balding where you have hair here and then like it's bald here. You have a good shaped head and you're bald. And he's like, I'm talking about some girl who was like, ew. And I'm just like, bro, I feel like you just made that story up. Like, like, here I am invalidating this man, but there are men who are bald who know that they look good and with their bald head. Okay. I just feel like he's one of them. And I just think that it's weird that his biggest insecurity is that he's bald because that would like, my biggest insecurity is that I overshare regularly. And I am always worried. It's one of my biggest insecurities. I'm always worried that when I'm oversharing, it's going to turn the other person off. And then I just like stop talking in the middle of talking. So like I'm just like, oh, never mind. It's not even important. So like, ew. Um, Stacy, I feel like Netflix has been on this mission lately of getting blonde women who have a particular look of slightly crazed that are going to be mean. They find them this like blonde, slightly crazed, mean woman. And that woman is Stacy. She looks very high maintenance. She's rating these people, which I actually respect. I do respect that she's like, I'm gonna give you a 5. Like, I do respect that she's actually like putting a system in place for herself. But like there's just something about her that's nasty. And I don't like it. She gives off massive mean girl energy. She's not really like trying to participate. I feel like she just wants to compete against everybody. And I don't like that. I don't like that kind of energy. Like, girl, if like you have to be chill with everybody. And I feel like you're just not interested in doing that. She feels like Shauna. I feel like ever since Shauna, they have been trying to like always have one of those who's just like slightly crazed, like not fully, just like slightly, where you can tell that they're off kilter, but you can't really say anything about it without being anti-woman. Like, mm, it's her look that gives me the high maintenance. It is the very sharp orange blush that she wears. It's so sharp. She's very insistent on that color palette, and I don't love it for her. I'm like, "Girl, okay, I think maybe a bit warmer, but okay." Um, Then Johnny, I think is I love her because I think she's one of the most real contestants. Like I feel like she's one of the ones who's actually here for love. Now, of course, just like everybody, they all have like all of these massive red flags, but or not massive, but everybody has red flags. I feel like hers are very much that she's trying to I feel like she seems like to be a person who gets into a relationship. She really likes this person. She gives her all, but she disappears in the relationship. It ends up getting hurt like every time. Um you're right. I like that. The Stacy, I'm not like the other girls. I'm here for fun. Pick me. That does make sense. That does make some sense. Okay. I see you there. I see you there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do because I don't have any sense. Hold on. I'm like, hold on. I forgot to do one thing, which I need to be managing this thing. I always forget to like whenever I switch channels, I forget to manage the live stream. I'm like, oh no. um, let's see here. I can do that. Okay. Um, can I just not okay. Okay. Oh no. Nope, I don't. Can I just leave all of this? Thank you. Sorry, y'all. It took me just a second because I haven't done it. I haven't done the managing on this one before. So now I'm like, oh shit. Now it's probably gonna come through with noise. Okay, excellent. Now we've got it. So the next thing is Johnny. I was talking about her. She seems like one of the real contestants. Like she's really here for love. She's really trying to have a relationship. I like her. I am kind of worried about how much her feet are being shown, but that's okay. Y'all know, if you know, you know. I don't know what else to say about that, but I'm worried about that. Not for her, like being, but for the people who like, anyways. Chris, I automatically hated him. I'm sorry, but I've never met a good man named Chris. I have never met a good man named Chris. Okay. Chris is just like as bad as Sean's, no matter how you spell it, they're all bad. Sorry, don't get mad at me. I don't make the rules. These are the rules. Automatically didn't like him. However, and here's the thing. I applaud him for sharing what happened to him with his first time. Um, because that is horrendous. But I am a little worried that he may be one of those people. And it's because of what he said and how he said it, where he felt like he could, unload all of his secrets. He said it like that very specifically. And I'm like, girl, you need to watch out because this man has a lot of bad things that have happened to him. And you are not a therapist. I'm just throwing that out there. He's had a lot of trauma and I don't think he's dealt with most of it. And you're gonna end up having to pick that up. Like the next question that she should have been like, thank you for sharing that with me. And she also should have asked, have you gone to therapy for this? Not to be rude, you know what I mean? Not to be a rude person, just to be like, have you gone to therapy for this? Because if you haven't, it might get a little, oh my God, dark angel. Oh gosh, I'm screaming now that I think about it. I know, Izzy. I got you. I know that you meant Izzy. I'm kind of crying now because of like, you're like, oh my God, not me, Izzy. But I don't know. I just feel like if he hasn't gone to therapy, I think back away, slide out of the situation. Because I do worry that he has a lot more than that. That he has not because he used the word unload, and I did not like that for any of us. I know, right? It got edited out. You're right. You're right. They should have shared that. If she did ask, they should have left that because that's important. Men need to go to therapy for these kinds of things. Um, what does this say? Oh yeah, I was talking about Stacy and that she gives bad vibes. I do not like her. Okay. JP seems to be the most marriageable. He seems marriage minded and most marriageable of all the men. Because he seems kind and sweet. He doesn't seem like he's been, taking red pills or listening to Joe Rogan. He seems very kind. He, seems like, oh, you don't have to cook. I can cook. Like I know how to make all kinds of food. And I like that. I like that about him. I am worried about Taylor because she is a very soft little angel. And I just don't know if this is her, like, this is going to be good for her. I feel like all of the women, most of the women are like, I now love myself. And I don't feel like this is the place for them to be to like, now love themselves because I feel like most of these men are walking red flags. And I don't think it's a good idea for you to finally have found yourself and love yourself and then be on Love is Blind. My opinion. You know what I mean? I mean, it's going to be entertaining for me either way, but I'm worried for her. There's another woman there who I have not seen her name, and I'm worried that I'm not because she's fly, Lil Pumpkin, and she looks so sexy. And I'm just like, who is she? She keeps showing up in the side. She's a thicker girl, and she keeps showing up. And I'm like, no, but who's she? No, but who is she? Like she'll be in the back, and she'll have like she had on like a red dress at one point, and I was like, no, but who, who is she? Give me her. You know what? Because I remember the opening sequence with the girls, and the one question that they wanted to ask was if any of the men have ever been in therapy. And coincidentally, the show never shows those answers. Show you right. You right. See, this is why I like to do it in like community chat because there's things that I like don't exactly pick up on because we listen, Miriam has a lot of red flags. I don't like Miriam at all. Everything she says is super vague. And I'm just like, girl, are you in a cult? Like, just tell us because everything she says is like, well, so you're a doctor. Oh no, I didn't go to med school. I, opted to get into chemistry or science or whatever. Oh, okay, so you do that. I mean, I want to open my business. What's your business? My skincare business. Oh, so you're gonna do this? I mean, like she's very vague. I feel like she's in a cult. Like Scientology. And I hope she doesn't make it anywhere because she gives me like the ick. There's something where I'm just like, y'all did not vet this woman. Y'all did not vet her. And I feel like concerned. Please don't show her back to me. Don't show her to me again. Please don't show her. Because I know she's up to something that's not good. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Please take her back. Like, no, get her out of here. She like, I don't, it just is anybody else who's watching, are they getting like a, because I'm gonna go watch episode 2. I'm watching episodes while I pack, and in between, I'm gonna come back over here because I have ADHD and my memory is trash. So I have to like try to discuss it as soon as I watch it. So if y'all are ready for like several 30 to 40-minute lives from me today on this channel, well, buckle up, sweetheart. All right. So, we're going to get into the meat because we had two big dramatic situations happen. So first of all, Izzy is like really getting close to like three of the girls there. One of them is Johnny, the other one is Stacy, and the other one is Lydia. Lydia, I think he started hitting it off with first, but like, listen, the second I saw his fuckboy ass face, I was just like, no, Lydia, you are too good for all of this. You are too good. I hate it. I hate him. And I think you deserve more than that. You deserve the world. And he is not the world. He's a very small, like shitty island, not a good one. Like one of those islands that just has like dangerous, deadly creatures on it. And like stepping foot on it means that you could possibly like die from the sand. That's the kind of island that he is. So I just, so anyways, he's doing his whole thing. Stacey's over there being like Miss Secretive and refusing to share with the other girls who she's interested in. And I'm like, girl, the only reason, you know what, Allie, you right, that pick me vibe, because the only reason you're not sharing is because you want to hear what everybody else is doing and saying and their connections so that you can try to become that person because pick me. You are right. She's going to try to like maneuver more and be more like the other girls. Even though she's not like other girls, she needs to hear what's happening so that she could do that, so that she can get him. Because for her, this is a competition. And it's like literally almost always like the slightly crazed blonde white lady that they get that they just find her. I don't know where they're finding them. Obviously Houston, but like it's a very specific type and she's just always competitive. It's weird energy. But Izzy, for no reason, ends up deciding that Lydia isn't for him. And girl, you dodged a bullet, okay? I'm telling you 100,000%, you dodged a bullet. That man, trash, garbage, okay? Refuse, okay? I don't know how to say trash in any other language. So if you come here, if you're watching this on the replay and you know how to say trash in other languages, please put trash, put it like put the trash can and how you say it and like what language it is. Please and thank you, because I would enjoy learning how to say garbage or trash in other languages, because I really want to be able to do that. As you know, I want to be able to call men trash to their faces in another language. Thank you. So then like so they kind of, I don't know. There's no real reason why he really breaks it off with Lydia. Like he has, like they have chemistry and all this stuff, and it's really nice. But he just decides that Stacy and Johnny are good for him, which obviously he can. But like I don't know, it was just weird because it's early for me, in my opinion, for him to be doing that. And he hasn't really talked deeply with anybody, as far as I'm concerned. Not deep enough to where you would have eliminated a person at this point. From what they're showing on, at this point, like what they're airing, nothing was deep enough with any of these women for him to have made like selections, my opinion, obviously. So it was just really weird that he was just like, yeah, I'm not into it. And she was like, okay, what did I do? He's like, you didn't do anything. Like that. So poor Lydia is just like broken up because she's like trying to figure out like what the hell she did or didn't do to make him like not interested. And he doesn't really have anything. There's no reason for it. He was just like, okay, I guess I know why. But I'm gonna keep that. Listen, somebody remind me later. You know what? You don't have to remind me. That's exactly why. He only dates these women. He does not date he does not. Period. And you can clearly tell by the way that he talks, the way that he like all of his mannerisms, you know. I see you, Izzy. Especially because he calls himself Izzy instead of his full name. And like, yes, I feel like a lot of people have nicknames, but if there's one thing that I will always say, especially about men from different ethnic backgrounds, they will literally always change their name. Like, oh, like that's how you know. So like a Jorge becomes George, okay? Jose becomes Joey. Like you always know that like that's how you know that they're self-hating. That's like a big reason that you always end up knowing that they're self-hating, because I'm like, maybe if somebody can't say Jorge by now, like what are you talking about? If somebody can't say Jose by now, like what are you talking about? It's 2023. Like there's no reason for you to be hiding. Like you're 42 and you're calling yourself Joe. Get out of here. So which I know is like there's just something about like I just feel I've noticed that growing up, because when I got older, I started to notice the difference between people who like really embrace and love their heritage because they don't bother trying to change or shorten or move their name around to be easier for these folks and to fit in with these folks, because they understood that there was no like they weren't going to fit in anyway. It doesn't matter. And that brings us to Uche. Y'all, this is the messiest of the mess. So, first of all, I love Aaliyah. I think she's so sweet and so genuine and so beautiful. They have so much in common and it's going really well. There's another lady that I forgot about. She's a nerd and she's like super into like science. And she was talking to Milton at one point. Anyways, was that Lydia? And I can't remember. I'm like, was that Lydia? I feel like that's true because I wrote her name before him. So yes, I think that's her. My mind, my mind. Anyways, we're getting into the nitty gritty, which is many seasons we've all been saying like these people don't ask the real questions or hard questions, and that it's all very sugar coated and like, do you like dogs? What's your favorite color? And those like questions are like legitish, but they're not really good questions for finding somebody that you want to marry, right? Like if you don't like dogs, obviously, like if it was somebody who wanted to get married, then you not liking dogs would be a problem because I love dogs and I want to have a house full of them. So like that's an issue, and that we're just not going to be compatible on that. And you're not going to be happy because I like my dog sleeping in the bed. Do I care if I have any room? No. But then Aaliyah and Uche, who Uche is an interesting character. I don't he's very judgy. Essentially what happens is he asks, I feel like this is true because I may have been like packing something up at the time. He ends up asking Aaliyah if she's ever cheated, and she admits that she has. Um, and this is where I wanted to start setting that man on fire because the way that he instantly was extremely judgmental about the situation. And this is one of the reasons why I will always say that cheating is far more complicated than people give it credit for. And the things that he gets upset about, like he gets mad that she didn't tell him and then proceeds to tell her that the reason she didn't tell her ex-boyfriend that she cheated on was because it was for her, that she wasn't honest because it would have hurt her feelings. And I'm sorry, sir, you are incorrect. Here's the thing about cheating on somebody: if they never knew that you cheated, there's actually zero reason for you to destroy like anything else for them about the end of your relationship. There's no reason for you to destroy that. Uh like I feel like, and anybody who's ever like cheated and like let me know, if you tell them, you're doing it for you. Okay? If there's no way that your partner could ever find out that you cheated on them, and you did it one time. I'm not talking about serial cheaters. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one time you made a mistake. If you tell them it's about you, it really is about you. It's about the guilt you feel. It's not about being honest because people like use the word honest and I don't feel like they always use it correctly because, like, that is what I would call brutal honesty. You're looking somebody in the face who loves you and cares about you and all of these things. And then you tell them that you cheated on them. And for what? Because you feel bad. That's really the thing. You feel bad. You are carrying around this burden of feeling terrible. He thinks he wants to be told, but babes, you don't. Like, thank you, Allie. I did as well. Same thing. I realized I needed to get out of the relationship. When our marriage ended, it wasn't because of that, because he did not know and I did not tell him. Um, there were a lot of extenuating circumstances involved in why this took place. I had a lot of things going on, and I had a lot of varying things I had to figure out. One of them was that, like, do I even like this person? Because I don't think that I've liked them for a really long time. And they've treated me so poorly for so long. I don't really know if that's true. So it was this situation where I was more, I just like, if I can do this, then that means that I really don't have the feeling that I thought that I had. So if I had told him what did it do? What would it have done? Other than, like, crush him for what? And listen, I'm a mean ass bitch. I will crush you if I want to, but I just really wanted out of that relationship. I wanted to be divorced and be done with that. I did not wanna deal with him ever. I still don't. I'm like, "I never wanna see you again." The things that you did to me in our relationship traumatized me, trauma that I'm still getting past. So, like, I I did not appreciate, and obviously we all have our own personal feelings, so we're all gonna feel differently about it, but I did not appreciate the way that he was going so hard at her about it. Like, even when she was saying that, like, she won't let that happen again and that she's changed a lot, and she was like, "That was a long time ago." He's like, "It was only 2 years." Bitch, get the fuck out. Like, the way this man tried to be like, "It was only 2 years ago." I was like, "Uche, who are you to tell her, like, just," and this is why, like, this is why men deserve nothing, but also deserve absolutely nothing. Because the thing is, she didn't have to tell you the truth. She didn't have to disclose any of that information to you. And she did because she wanted to be honest with you and because she wanted to start a relationship with you on the right foot. Right. And the thing is, there's no way that you would have ever found out later unless she told you. This is like she's being honest with you. You are berating her. Like, it's very obvious he got cheated on. Like, that's the other thing. It's extremely obvious at this point that he has been cheated on, and he thinks Yeah, you're right. Uche is a lawyer, and he was trained to dig for bones he doesn't like and weaponize them against his target, which unfortunately was Aaliyah. And that's the thing. That's why I wouldn't be with somebody like him because I feel like at every turn he's going to be like just going at you instead of talking to and with you. Like he's not going to be having a conversation with you. He's going to be talking at you. He's going to be trying to dominate every aspect of it. And like that, that's what gave me like more of his red flags. Like at that point, it was just like a siren wailing. And I was like, yeah, don't fuck with him. All of that to say, we all need a Lydia in our lives because when I tell you Lydia was out there with the love, with the understanding, with the holding, with the I'm your friend. She like held Aaliyah so tight, was like, let's go sit down. She was like, you don't need a man like that, girl. You don't need somebody judging you. He does not get to judge you for that. That's not his job. Like, who does he think he is? You don't deserve. I was like, Lydia, come be my friend. Be my friend. I need this in my life. I need this kind of love. So at this point, I'm just like, Lydia and Aaliyah should get together. Okay. I think that Johnny and Lil Taylor should get together. All right. I think that um JP deserves love, but I just feel like the women should get together. And like that's Stacy deserves Izzy, is what I'm gonna say. I have not seen anything else, but I'm gonna leave you on that because I'm gonna go pack up. I'm gonna pack more stuff, and I'm going to watch the second episode. I thought I was gonna sneeze. I was gonna sneeze. I did. I hope you didn't hear it. I hope I muted it properly. Otherwise, I just like yelled at all of y'all really loud. Um, but we have 5 minutes of thoughts before I go get to packing up more stuff, taking Bo out, and watching episode 2. And if nobody has anything else, I'm just gonna like bounce off and be like, and also like let me know if you're watching this on the replay, how amazing that you think Lydia is because Lydia is the sauce. She is the everything. She is like all the stuffs. I love Lydia and I hope that she gets the best. I don't think she'll get it out of this show, but she will get the best because she's amazing. She's beautiful and very sexy. Very sexy. All right. I will see y'all later today. Just be on the lookout for another random stream popping up. I will see y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out and chilling with me. Wasses. Look, I'm already missing some of the stuff. Them bats are hard to get off. Oh no, not waffling with my opinions. We'll see, Allie. We'll see. Okay. Bye, y'all.